Welcome back to The Morning Blend. A new poll suggests that people would rather be doing pretty much anything other than buying life insurance. Joining us now to help take one of the most boring topics like life insurance and make it interesting is Matthew Holbrook from Country Financial.
Great way to start a Friday here, right?
Jeez, this is going to be boring. Yeah. No, but here's the thing. It might be boring. You might not like it, but it's super important.
Yep, and it is. And it's just have the conversation. Just get it out there. Let's do this. Happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah, so why don't more people have life insurance?
Because it's, I mean, you look at everything these days. You can go on Facebook, it's on your phone. You go on Amazon, it's right there. You want something on Amazon, you order it, it's there right away. So with life insurance, you actually need to kind of make a plan with that, get it in place, set up that initial meeting, and that's just scary to people.
Well, and here's the thing. Life insurance kicks in when you die.
Yep.
So I think there's a certain element to that that's not so fun to talk about. But if you have kids, or even if you don't, you truly owe it to the people you love to have a policy.
You do, and take a look at it. If you don't know if you need more, call me. I can have a 10-second conversation with you. I'm more than happy to. But the worst thing in my line of business is when people don't have that in place and then the family suffers. So let's get it done. Let's make it happen.
A lot of people, I have life insurance through my employer here. Is that enough? And how do you know?
And when somebody comes in and they say that, I'll say, okay, so how much is that number? And then we kind of figure out what their debts are or what their mortgage is. And if that number doesn't kind of line up, then we need to supplement that. So say you have, a $50,000 a year income, and you have 3 times that for your employer, that's $150,000. But say you live in a $400,000 house, well, then that's not going to cover the whole thing. So should something happen to you or your family doesn't have that income, they need to sell the house. So when that happens, I'll say, okay, husband or wife, would you feel okay if something happened to you that they would have to sell the house? More times than not, they say no.
Well, right, and wouldn't you say more often than not also, most people don't have enough coverage through their employer?
Yep.
That's probably the bottom line.
Yeah, that's what it is, and so you do need that supplement on top of that. So for pennies on the dollar, it's really not that expensive whatsoever, but it's just getting people to say, okay, I'll commit 10 minutes to this right now, we'll get it done and taken care of.
And if one member of a couple dies and they have a family, is it often that the surviving family have to downsize, sell the house,
they have to downsize.
Rent?
I mean, a lot of people, you probably see the GoFundMe pages, and it's every time I see those, I see it through kind of a different light where I wish they would have paid $20, $30 a month where that money would have just been there when something happened, but it's not there.
To estimate the cost, give us like a monthly ballpark. What does having life insurance cost for the average person, would you say?
For average person, I mean, you can go huge with it, and it depends on the kind of policy, but
like cost of a phone bill.
Yeah, less than a phone bill. I mean, it's
less than cable.
Less than cable. So I know a lot of people are cutting the cord. So I'd say, I mean, you can get it for $20 would be probably enough per month to supplement what you need. But some people, kind of depending on the planning we do, we go more premium, but that changes kind of policy it is. But it's definitely affordable. It's not.
Absolutely, that's the point.
You don't need a second mortgage.
Absolutely. You typically talk about whole life and then term life. I think there's a lot of confusion about the two and what's best.
Yeah, and what I'll tell people, okay, so just think of it this way. Term, you're renting the policy, okay? So it's kind of like when you rent an apartment, you don't own it. It's cheaper, it's a place to live, so it's kind of like renting. So you rent a policy per se. Whole life, you own the policy and you're building equity. So it's kind of that rent versus own dynamic. So when you own the policy, you're building equity, so you have money within there. There's still a death benefit attached, but that's the whole life. Term, at the end of that term, you've paid the rent per se, then it's done and it's gone.
Right, and you help people probably estimate how long they should rent in terms of term policies, how long they should have that in place.
And you can do a mix of both of them too.
You can have both.
Correct.
That's huge. Country Financial just released some really great new term life insurance plans. You've told us that before. This is a good time to inquire about it.
So if you haven't looked at it for a long time, it's even from we just moved to Mequon, so I have a lot on my plate here. But after we're kind of settled in there, I need to redo my policies because my rates alone came down 30%, so I just need to do re-underwriting again. It's not too hard, and then I'll save myself quite a bit of cash on there too. So they came down quite a bit. It's worth looking at.
Yeah, absolutely, and reevaluating. People don't know, I think, sometimes how to start the conversation or just what to ask or what to say.
Text, email, whatever, send a smoke signal, whatever's most comfortable for you. I'd tell the client, as long as you make that initial approach, that's the hardest part right there. If you've done that, you're pretty good.
I think that's easy. It's easy to send you a confidential email too, which is a very easy way to at least get the conversation started. You can contact Matthew at his office. He's in Shorewood on North Oakland Avenue, 414-332-2137. You can email him confidentially, matthew.holbrook@countryfinancial.com. Great conversation to have, and while it might be something people like to avoid, super important for all the people that you love.
Spend this snowy Friday.
Get a life insurance policy.
Yeah, sounds so much fun.
Great to see you.
Good
Thank
to see
you so
you.
much.